Hello everyone and welcome back to Animation Pilgrimage, where we watch every single theatrically released animated film in chronological order. I'm Sean.
I'm Tennille.
And today we are looking at the first ever crossover film.
The ultimate crossover!
Sure. Mazinger Z versus Devilman here in 1973.
Crossovers, man.
Man,
All that fan service just given directly to me. Me, who has never seen either of these shows.
Yeah, injected into my vein. Crossovers between two shonen shows I have no knowledge of.
Well, that's not entirely true.
Yeah, I guess that's not entirely true. I don't know anything.
We have some familiarity with Devilman. I don't know anything about Mazinger Z.
Other than a giant robot.
See, I didn't even know that before we watched this.
Yeah, it's a giant robot anime, and then Devilman is dude gets infected with a demon, and then he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go kill all the other demons because they're attacking humanity, and I still have my humanity, even though I'm also part demon.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gets really dark.
Yeah, for the record, we've watched Devilman Crybaby.
Yes.
So that's how we know Devilman. But
I also went back and tried to read some of the original manga from this time period.
Yeah.
Yeah. I only got like around halfway through it. Mm-hmm. And that's what, as far as I know, that's what the original show is based off of, the first half, where it's all lighthearted.
Heh.
I think.
Anyway. Fun fact. Did you know both of these were written by the same guy?
That makes sense why they did a crossover, and why the art styles of the main characters look nearly identical.
Yeah. Go Nagai is the manga artist for both of these properties. And apparently, at the time that this movie came out, Mazinger Z was the much more popular franchise from him, which was always something that he was like, oh, that feels weird because Devilman's really where I put like my heart and soul, and Mazinger Z is just kind of something I work on.
It's like light fluff to get a paycheck type of thing.
Yeah. But I mean, like, no harm in that. But like being a product that came out in the 70s, I definitely understand why Mazinger Z would have been the more popular franchise out of these two at the time. Giant robots, just good heartfelt fun. Yeah. Controversial, demons. Like, demon blasphemy stuff going on. I'd say out of the two of these, I prefer Devilman. I think it's a way more interesting concept, but...
I don't think many other shows or anything has done something like this to this extent.
Right. There's 1,000 Mazinger Z's out there. There's only one Devilman.
Yeah, I mean, sure, like, now that if I think hard about it, I can think about other franchises that try to do something similar with giving the main characters evil, terrible monster powers or something, and they use it for good.
Right.
But, like, this is one of the first ones, and...
It's one of the first ones, and it's still... What's surprising about it is it's still very distinct, you know? Mm-hmm. Usually when you have a kind of trope that's this old, it'll have been done enough that the new things that come out that have also done it have found a way to refine it and do it better. But I still find Devilman is, from my limited experience with it, with the property, seems to still be fairly unique by itself.
Yeah, that's what I get from it as well. Mm-hmm. Anyways, let's talk about the actual film.
There's not much to say.
It's fan service. It's Mazinger Z.
You know what has been done to death recently and has been more refined over the ages?
The crossover.
Crossovers. And this is definitely a real rough crossover. This is something that definitely does not actually take place in either of their universes.
It's not canon.
These two characters are just put together into the thing, and so that they can have some like witty dialogue back and forth. And they have like these kind of like show-off segments where like they each do their own thing to prove how cool they are, but it doesn't actually prove that either one of them is better at anything. Yeah, it's like, it's very much one of those toe the lines of like, oh, well, you know, isn't it cool to see these characters together? We don't actually want them to interact in any realistic way, but...
Mazinger Z and Devilman team up to fight their enemies who are now also teamed up and or controlling each other, you know, control devices to control ancient demons.
Sure, why not?
Cool, got it. All right, either way, there's a lot of robot fighting and destruction and demons being gouged apart and disemboweled.
You can definitely tell
but
what part...
PG disembowelment.
Yeah, like what parts are the Devilman inspired stuff and what parts are the Mazinger Z. Like everything light and fluffy. You know, you got like kid characters and the girlfriend and stuff who are hanging out. And then like the Devilman stuff shows up and it's got like these gross, ugly demons and crosses and blood. And I'm just like...
There's a very unique divide here.
Yeah. Which parts came from Devilman and which parts came from Mazinger Z? This is the easiest game show ever.
The plot is real simple. They
Defeat
team
the
up.
baddie.
The good guys get hung up. Are they gonna make it? Oh, they make it through. Oh, are they gonna make it? Oh, they make it through.
Make sure we switch back and forth which hero gets to be the hero.
Though almost always it's actually Mazinger Z more so than Devilman.
Well, I think that has to do with the fact that Mazinger Z was probably the more popular thing. Like, Devilman saves Mazinger Z right away at the beginning, but then the second...
The second and third times or whatever, it's more so Mazinger Z is on top.
Yeah.
Mazinger Z also gets a new upgrade in the movie so he can fly.
Wow!
Cool! Sell more toys! And...
I don't know that was necessarily a thing. I don't know. It must have been. It was funny. I was telling Sean while we were watching the movie, I'm like, wow, the 80s came early for Japan. And Sean was just like, no, the 80s came late for America. And truer words have never been spoken.
Yeah. I think that's pretty accurate.
Uh-huh.
I don't really know what else to actually say about this one.
It's a really bland crossover episode. I don't know. If you like both of these properties, you could probably get some amusement out of how, like, corny it is. But, like...
If you've only experienced Devilman Crybaby, which is on Netflix, this is a very different Devilman.
This will be very jarring.
Yeah, it's not going to be what you expect.
Yeah.
But it might be fun for that reason. I don't know.
Yeah. On its own, I wouldn't recommend it because, you need some familiarity to get anything out of this. This is just fan service, the movie.
I will say, it was actually pretty short. It was only about 45 minutes long, but released to theaters, so we're watching it.
I want to make a rule that a movie has to at least be an hour and a half for us to watch it on AP, but... I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I know that's something we talked about a long time ago, but we both agreed that it was too early
to make that distinction.
Film history to say things need to be an hour and a half. Because, like, even some Disney films and stuff weren't an hour and a half long at that point.
Probably at least an hour would be fair. Which means films like this that are this short probably won't get watched in the future. Well, it'll be a play-by-play thing, I think.
And there was a lot of films, too, from Russia that were all, like, 50 minutes long, and it was like, but we really want to watch these. Yeah. I don't know.
We'll come to a decision.
At some point, we need to, like, decide, hey, from now on... Movies have to be an hour and a half, or we're not going to watch them.
Hour
and a half. That is the 90 minutes is the standard. We need to find out when that becomes a standard.
Okay.
Because there is a point where if it's not 90 minutes, it couldn't be released to theaters, or it's not actually considered a film or something like that. It's considered a short film.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll find out. Well, I think that's just going to be it for this episode. I know we didn't really talk about the film a whole lot, but again, there's not a lot to say.
Yeah.
Join us back here next time as we are looking at the second Ralph Bakshi film, Heavy Traffic. So
This is considered his best one, so we'll see what happens.
we'll see what we think of that.
Yeah.